Welcome to this video on types of questions and ideas for using those questions. So if you have used Google Forms before, you've probably used most of the basic types of questions. There's nothing really outstandingly new or world-changing, but just some ideas for maybe when to use them. And also, if your school is like ours, we're becoming more and more data-driven, and what the analytics on the backside of that look like, meaning how can I tell what question was most frequently asked? Or if I'm taking that information and I'm putting it into a spreadsheet, what's the easiest way? What kinds of questions do I need to be able to sort those so I can look at trends or look at the most popular answer, those kinds of things. So those are all things to consider when you're creating questions. So this is just a quick quiz with the different types of questions and then what they look like on the backside. So the first one is just the short answer. In the last video, we looked at on those short answers, you can actually use some response validation to be able to validate or limit or make sure that you get the same type of answer. If you're creating a quiz, you're maybe used to this where you can say what the correct answer is in short answer form, which is kind of dangerous because we run into like capital letters, spaces, punctuation, things like that. The old traditional multiple choice question. Again, I've got the section based on answer set up here where I can redirect folks, but that's really good for that if you're hoping to branch or use some of those logic branching questions. Multiple choice, pretty straightforward and pretty simple. Also, if you're looking at data on the backside, if you want to be able to sort anything, if you want to be able to take a spreadsheet and look at commonalities or common answers, you should stay away from open response. In other words, you should have responses that are multiple choice checkbox where people are not typing them in so that you can count and sort and do all of those things inside a spreadsheet or some sort of dashboard like Google Looker Studio if you're using something like that. Multiple mark, very similar to multiple choice, except for it allows you multiple checkboxes or multiple correct answers. Once again, you can do response validation here where we have to select at least so many of those. This is a drop-down menu, very good if you have a lot of choices. So if you're looking for, say, like parent-teacher conferences and conference times, and maybe you want people to select a time or a specific treat date or whatever it is, and you have a bunch of things in the list, a drop-down menu is a good choice. This is a good one for kids to be able to add files or parents to be able to add files, where this is the add file question. So when we look at that, this is the file upload option where I can ask for specific types of files. I can turn this on and ask for like a PDF or an image file. Maybe you're doing some sort of beginning of the year project where you want a picture of the child. You're going to make name tags or you're going to make desk tags or whatever it is, and you want to get a quick picture so you have them ready for them at a time. You can send this out to parents and ask them to upload a picture of their kid for the wall or for their desk or whatever it is. You could do something like that. That's an easy upload versus a bunch of emails. The old linear scale here, so kind of from 1 to 5, ranking, exit tickets, things like that, if you do something like that. And then we run into this kind of checkbox grid or multiple choice grid. Multiple choice grid where they're choosing, and we'll look at a preview of this, the different options. So if we look at a preview of this, because it's a little easier for some of these, a lot of these we went over look the same as they did before. Here's your drop down where I can choose from those, my add file. Here's my linear scale option where I'm choosing, and that answer is going to come out as a numeric answer, 1 to 5. This is where I've got my multiple mark here. Okay, and you'll notice on this multiple choice, I can only select one in each row. I can select the same thing, so like a survey or feedback, but I can only select one response in each row. Versus multiple checkbox, I can select as many responses as I want in each row. So that would differ in the type of question that you're asking. Last questions are to insert date and time. Those aren't necessarily timestamps when they replied. We're actually asking for a specific day and or a specific time. So those are different types of questions. Again, you may be familiar with those, but think about some of the other options or alternative options for how you might format a question when you're using Google Forms outside of maybe just the multiple choice. Also, if you're hoping to use some of those response validations or logic branchings, the type of question that you choose is very important.